2017 is coming to a close, and that means we want to find the greatest We Have Concerns episodes of the year. Head to wehaveconcerns.com/clash to vote on your favorite episodes of 2017. Good movie, The Florida Project.
It's certainly feel-good hit of the summer.
The feelest, goodest hit of the summer. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Cannata.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens. Jeff, can you believe we've been doing this for 500 years?
It's the 500th year of the show.
We were cursed by a sorceress 500 years ago to repeat our petty discussions.
Why did you have to insult her?
And yet never learn anything.
Never, not once. We're cursed to be wrong about everything. And
together.
Still talk about it.
In a room forever for 500 years.
Someday we'll be out of this room.
Our first episode was about, I think, leeches as a medicinal aid.
Was it?
Yeah, 500 years ago.
Yeah. We were really into him then. We thought that we just found out about him.
We were like, can you imagine? Sure, we live in the most wondrous age.
We were like, finally, we've come to leeches.
Finally,
that's going to solve all our ills, we said.
We can just bleed out all of the problems that we have. Can you imagine what life will be like in 10 years? And you said, we don't have to. We're trapped here because of your mistake.
That's right. Why did you have to insult her?
No, but it is our 500th episode.
Yeah, 500 episodes. Who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk? Which, sure. Is that a bigger occasion for a podcast that's maybe once a week? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. As opposed to 3 times.
Still a nice round number.
Yeah. So as we do with every round number in society, it's time to celebrate.
Celebrate 500 episodes. I wonder how many of you have listened to us 500 times.
Based on the groups and the posts that I've seen, Too many to listen to a couple of wrong guys cursed to be in a room together.
Not good.
But we wanted to take this 500th episode and be lazy. So what we did is we asked you to send in questions, comments, things you've always wanted to know about the show.
It turns out there are only 499 science stories.
Yeah, that's it. We've done them all.
We did them all.
I was like, wait a minute, Jeff, stem cells?
We did that.
Really?
Yeah, I did that one.
No, but these are cells that can turn into other types of cells.
Yeah, that was episode 392.
Huh.
Yeah, we did that.
Right. What's your feeling on an octopus?
Yeah, I know, right? Did that.
All right.
Several times.
Oh, if only I didn't do that horrible thing to that sorceress. But yeah, so we asked you on our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/We Have Concerns, on our subreddit, which is wehaveconcerns.reddit.com, and on Twitter, which is this is the one only time you can send us things on Twitter because we specifically asked.
No, way to confuse everybody, Anthony.
I did actually. Somebody was like, wait a minute, you said never send us things on Twitter. And I was like,
Wasted on your own petard.
Compliments and questions you can send. Story ideas are bad. But yeah, so we thought we'd pick out a few of the most upvoted ones.
What do you got? What do you got there? What do you like? What do you see? What do people want to hear? What are the burning questions from the audience?
Have you purchased Jeff a sturdier chair?
No, I'm literally still sitting on the chair that we instantly replaced the broken one with.
Yeah, it's just a folding chair. We'll replace it.
As soon as that Patreon money comes in,
we will. Yeah, we also have forgotten to pay ourselves for the last couple months. We put money into the show. We've just forgotten to pay ourselves.
Yeah.
We're great at getting things done. Speaking of which, what equipment do you have and how many people are on the team?
3.
Team, We Have Concerns. We have 3 equipment.
3 equipment
and 3 people.
3 people. We have a strict 1 equipment per person rule.
Yep.
We're sticking with it.
There are 3 of us. It's me and Jeff and our editor, Rob Para, who is absolutely brilliant and has been with us almost since the beginning. Literally the first handful of episodes I edited myself. I looked at Jeff. I said, I never want to do this again.
Yeah.
And so we hired Rob, and it's been a wonderful dream ever since.
Indeed. So yeah, he's awesome. He edits our show. And by edit, I mean, there's not a lot of editing of the actual show itself content. So it's not like it's being hacked up and rearranged or anything like that. You're basically hearing us talk, but he does a lot of work in putting the music in and making sure everything sounds good, doing levels and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, and we'll get a little bit more into the editing process later because a lot of people were interested in that. But as far as equipment, I can tell you that we're on 2 Rode Procaster microphones. We are connected into a compressor limiter, into a PC, and I don't know, and then the internet sends it to you.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, microphones.
Yeah.
How does it all work? I'll tell you this. If you do want a good list of podcasting equipment and what to use.
Tell them that Tom Merritt site. Tom Merritt has a good list. Anyway.
There are two good lists. Tom Merritt has a very good list. And Dan Benjamin has a good list as well.
Dan Benjamin. He does a whole show about how to make a podcast, doesn't he still?
I think so, yeah. I think it's all podcastmethod.com. I don't know where Tom keeps his list. I think he keeps there's a single, it's on a single sheet of paper and it's in his pocket. And if you can kill Tom Merritt and get that sheet of paper, you are the new lord of podcasting.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's like the Dread Pirate Roberts.
It's like a mix of the Dread Pirate Roberts and the Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Eric Fredrickson says, I'd love to hear about how you think doing the show has changed you. How you think, how you behave. I think
that's interesting.
Yeah.
You think it's changed us? I mean, the curse changed us a lot because we haven't been able to leave this room in 500 years.
I think that's the biggest change.
Yeah.
The show is just
really, honestly, effectively, my life is not much different before the curse and after the curse.
Well,
I hung out here a lot.
You're a father now. You're welcome.
That's true.
The show did give you that.
The show impregnated my wife.
It's all part of the curse. How have we changed?
Usually a curse wants your firstborn. This curse gave me my firstborn.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think. How have we changed? This is one of those things that Rob will edit. Rob will edit a lot of this silence out. I don't know. Well, one thing that I always like to tell people because they assume the opposite is true is that we did not know each other very well when we started doing this.
That's right. Yeah.
People assume that we were like really, really good friends and like tight, super sweet bros when we started this show.
Yeah. No, we barely, we didn't live in the same city very long before we started doing the show, and we didn't know each other well at all.
Yeah.
And so the show has really been the journey of our getting to know one another as well.
Yeah.
The journey of Anthony realizing he doesn't actually really like me very much.
And the journey of Jeff learning that he's actually more neurotic than me. That's been interesting.
Yeah.
I said in the beginning of this show that it really was just a way for me to chip away at the perfect facade of Jeff Kanata and make him feel just a little bit crazier every day.
Yeah.
And I like to think I've accomplished that.
Oh yeah. It's definitely had tangible results.
Some people responded, actually. One of them said, I've become a lot more optimistic about the future of alternative energy, and I have lost all the trust that I had in cephalopods.
I think we're moving the needle on the octopus thing.
And alternative energy. So Elon Musk, you're welcome.
Yeah. If only we could mine...
And Elon Mollusk, we're gunning for you.
What the fuck?
That's my one.
Good, though.
Thank you.
I like that one. I got a couple of questions here. Lambo Cop on Twitter says,
"Ooh, good name."
Yeah. What are you doing with all that blood we sent you?
Mind your business, Lambo Cop. Mind your business and keep sending the blood.
We're not going to divulge that.
Look, all I'm saying is we've been cursed for 500 years. We need blood. Put 2 and 2 together.
We're not going to do all the work for you.
Yeah, Jesus.
Joey at Lure on actually at Lure. Said, what is your favorite story idea that you didn't end up using for an episode? Got one of those?
A story idea that we haven't used?
I'll tell you one while you think. We did an entire episode and it was one of my favorites and there was a recording error. And I know I have to be more specific because that's happened several times, but it was
for 500 episodes, it hasn't happened as many times as you would assume.
Right.
More than zero is bad. Less than 10.
Yeah. But there was an episode that we did I thought was so funny and fun. It was a great topic, and it was all about cuddle rooms. Remember when we did that episode about cuddle rooms? And we lost it.
I think we wound up redoing that, though.
I don't think we did.
Oh, no. We did something about pheromone parties, I think, which is similar to a cuddle room, but different.
Anyway, it was really funny, and it made me sad that we lost it.
Yeah, I can't think of a story that that we didn't use where I'm like, oh, it's a bummer we didn't use that, because we have a tendency to try to like use every story that we like that comes in.
Yeah.
I will say that there are some stories that come in that are like, that really make us laugh that we can't use, or like really make us think about something that we can't use, because it's like, it's more, some stories are more 30-second videos or cool Reddit posts than they are episodes full of discussion.
Or there are other stories that are like, we think we might be able to have, we're making strides on curing leukemia or treating leukemia or cancer. And it's like, okay, well, we that's great. And we're super excited that we're making strides, but we're not going to make fun of that.
Yeah, right. There's some things where we're just like, ooh, no, that's not. And there are certainly things that people send in where it's like, we want to hear your opinion on this. And I'm like, no. I was like, number one, no, you don't. And number two, I don't want to get worked up about that.
Yeah. That's
or more specifically, I don't want Jeff to get worked up.
Thanks, man. Thanks for looking out for me.
Yeah. You know, you have your 30-second limit, dude.
That's right.
Do you have a character or bit that is your favorite?
There's a lot. I always tickled by your past history as a doctor.
Or not well,
you're not a doctor anymore.
Not anymore.
But you used to be.
Some would say that I never was.
Yeah, but those people, you can't listen to those people.
No, I have the heart of a doctor.
Yes, on your table.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Et cetera. That's the joke, everybody.
I was tickled by that one.
Yeah. I like bird pranks. I like the idea of like, not just that birds do pranks, but there's something that I really love about it where it's like, birds are smart enough to understand the concept of pranking, but they have no ability to gauge nuance.
Right.
Or like,
they always go too far.
Yeah. Or seriousness or impact. Like, so like a prank to them is like, I'm going to poison the water supply. And it's just like, I don't know. There's something dumb about that I really love.
Yeah. Here's a burning question from Not Paul Massbad.
Okay.
Which is really sad. I mean,
one day we'll find out. One day we'll get that question from Paul Massbad.
Yeah. His question is, how tall are you guys combined?
I think 11'8".
11'8" is what we came up with. And you can just carve that up however you need.
Yeah, as we do from day to day. It's one of our superpowers.
Yeah.
It's like a Wonder Twins thing. But we're only able to grow if the other one shrinks.
The only bummer is that the next time you see an 11'8" tall person wearing a trench coat walking through the door, you'll know it's us.
You'll know it's us trying to keep a low profile. Mike Bliley, what's the process for coming up with the skits in the middle of the episodes? Do you start with a punchline and then add funny voices? Is it collaborative, or do you each more or less come up with the skits on your own?
He's attributing so much planning to us.
Yeah, that's so kind of you. This show is entirely improvised.
Yeah.
And when we say this show is entirely improvised, we mean this show is entirely improvised.
We have no idea. It should be clear that we, A, barely read the stories before we talk about them, and B, have no idea what's coming next, either of us.
Yeah. So when you hear a skit, it's basically just one of us doing a voice or like getting a look in our eye or like pointing to the other one or gesturing in such a way to let that person know I'm about to be a character. And then we just say the first thing that pops into our heads, and the other person. So 2 episodes ago, here's an example. We were doing the AI. We were doing AlphaGo Zero. And there was a thing where I asked you a question. I was like, hey, I wanted to ask you something. And you immediately did a robot voice. For example, in my head, I was going to be the robot.
Right.
And that's not, oh no, Jeff ruined it or Jeff did it wrong or anything like that. It's more like, that's just what improv is.
Yeah.
I just set up that we're going to do a scene, and then whatever Jeff says next is like, oh, this is the scene. Okay, now Jeff's the robot.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll just lead Jeff kind of in the direction that I wanted to go, and we'll see where Jeff, like, I don't know, it's just improv.
Yeah.
It's just improv.
Just all.
And there have been times, I mean, the fact that you think we write it is really lovely, because a lot of them don't go anywhere and are bad.
Most of them don't go anywhere and are bad.
Yeah, it's mostly like, oh, well, we thought that was going to turn into something, and then it didn't. This is kind of connected to a question from Jason Martin. Do both of you read and when we say somebody's name here, a couple, sometimes a bunch of people send in the same question, and this is just the first person that we saw. So thanks to everybody who sent stuff in. But Jason Martin says, do both of you read the complete story and act surprised, or does one of you only read the complete story and the surprise is genuine? Usually whoever picks the story has read the story.
Usually it's the latter.
Yeah, but there will be sometimes, obviously, if there's a big news story where we've both read it, and we'll just be like, okay, well, who's going to take the lead on it?
Right. But most of the time, it literally is one person explaining it to the other person in real time. And I think I actually like that, because then the curiosity and the questions come from a real place, and you're actually just experiencing it in real time. And it's like, I don't know if you do this, but I do this now, where if I read a story that I think, or if I see a headline or an idea that seems super interesting, but I know is something that's like more your speed, I'll be like, oh, that's good. And I will specifically not read the story because I'll be like, oh, that's such a Jeff story. I'm going to let Jeff present that because he's going to want to. I don't know if you do the same thing, totally
but like,
yeah.
Reed Bianco, let Jeff off the leash, unlimited dad jokes for just one episode. I think we did that once.
I think we did do that once.
And you choked. If I remember correctly, you were just, you couldn't do it. It was too much pressure.
It's a lot of pressure, and it feels like, it feels like it's not fun anymore if I just can do it.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a little subversive. It's gotta be a little,
it's almost a torture. It's almost like dropping a kid in the middle of a toy store and saying, you can have literally anything you want,
right?
But you can only have one thing.
Yeah.
And then that you watch the kid just like have a nightmare meltdown.
Yeah. Yeah. That was me.
Yeah.
I was that kid in the toy store.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, the kid in the toy store, they always say. If only there was an old parable or an old saying. Just like a kid in a blank store. What would it be?
Toy store.
Toy store. Okay, great.
I only really enjoy it if it makes you angry anyway.
And I want to clarify the dad joke rules, because people who haven't been listening,
for me or for them,
for you, and then for them. But for people who haven't been listening for a long time, people will catch me making a pun somewhere else, and they'll be like, "What are you doing making a dad joke?" And I'll be like, "No, you misunderstand where this comes from. Jeff's one dad joke limit comes from the fact that if I didn't give him a one dad joke limit, he would end every sketch or bit with a dad joke, as opposed to letting the sketch go and like turn into something." And so I put a limit on him very early on. I forget if anybody knows what episode that was.
Very early.
It's super early, but I was like, no, you can only, how dare you, not in the middle of these bits.
Well, no, what happened was you said no more of those. And I said, come on, you got to give me one. And you went, okay, one. Now, that is me negotiating poorly.
Sure.
That is me opening salvo minimum, which is never what you do.
No.
And you just seizing on that.
You should have asked for 10 per episode.
10? I was just starting 10. We could have gone to 5. We would have both been happy.
Yeah, you would have walked away with 7 an episode.
Oh, man.
Instead, you've got 1.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Make your bet, I guess.
Early deals in the entertainment industry. Everybody's got their horror stories about them.
That's right.
Dante Gonzalez Aguilar says, congrats, guys. I've been traveling for weeks in Indonesia. I was just a few episodes into the podcast. I binge listened to you guys on the daily. It was just me, nature, and you guys freaking me out talking about spider holes. Best vacation ever.
Awesome.
Love your work, guys. That's so nice.
That was cool.
That is so wonderful. Thank you, Dante.
Very cool. Hey, I was going to tell you this off mic, but I might as well say it on mic. I was having dinner the other night with a buddy of mine who is media type dude, and he was working in Adobe something, Adobe Premiere, I don't know.
Yeah.
An Adobe software suite.
Animate CC is the new 2D animation software for character and puppet animation.
Plug and play.
Yeah.
Right. And he was on their official site watching their official tutorial videos, and they were showing how it's so easy to just animate characters. And they're like, here's a podcast that I enjoy, and we're just going to plug it in and show you how easy it is. And it was, we have concerns.
Oh, cool. When is Adobe sending a check?
That's what I said. I was like, I'm glad they notified us in any way.
No, that's nice. That's awesome that you did that. And if you have that clip, Send it our way.
Yeah,
We'd
love to see it. I'm
it.
gonna have to try to find it now, but here's one from Theory of Mind on Twitter. Nick Theory says, if you created a video game based on your show, what kind of game would it be and what would you do? Match 3. Clearly a match 3.
Yeah, like a lot of microtransactions, energy crystals.
Yeah.
Really just milk that cash cow, you know?
Yeah.
That's not a joke. That's not a joke.
We'd actually call it milk that cash cow.
Milk that cash cow.
And you would just pull the teats of a cash cow until money came out of it, which never happens until you buy money. You actually buy money in this game.
Yeah. And we don't even abstract it into some sort of currency. Like,
no, you're
like
literally
power
buying
gems.
money.
You spend $1 and we give you 1 in-game nickel.
That's right.
And then everything costs like real money.
Right.
It's basically like it's terrible and we're gonna get rich.
Milk that cash cow. Milk that cash cow. Ah, man, I just see that thing working.
Knowing you can't go back, Marshall Thompson asks, knowing you can't go back and listen to all 500 to get your answers, what have been each of your favorite episode or most memorable moment in an episode?
I think we both agree that we forget more than we remember.
Yes. We 100% do. Moments in episodes. The first appearance of Dr. Cool was fun.
Yeah. I definitely my brain immediately goes to like early stuff. There's some really good.
Spike Lobby is one of my favorite bits.
Yeah.
Bird Pranks is one of my favorite bits. Oh, that poor idiot child that was abandoned by her father.
It's so funny.
In the
box.
In the box in the middle of a national park, I think.
That is a good one. I have no idea what episode that is.
That was
really
a good bit.
Yeah.
Do you have a story that looking back you wish you hadn't had done?
Had not have done?
Yeah, except for that fake killer robot bear story.
Oh, any of the fake ones. I think there's like 3 ones in our 500 history that...
Really?
I think there's 3.
There are 3?
There's at least 2.
I knew about
3.
the robot bear.
I thought there was like at least a couple others that we realized that wasn't really real.
Huh. Interesting.
There's more than one.
I definitely only remember the robot bear.
Robot bear was, yeah.
Anyway, go back through all 500 episodes, everyone, and find the fakes. And if you do, we'll send you 1 in-game nickel for our cool game. That's worth $1.
It's worth $1. It buys you nothing in the game, but just a few more dollars and you can get 3 more nickels, which will then buy you still nothing in the game.
Thomas Marshall, I've sent in a number of banger articles. Why the fuck haven't you used them?
Oh, because we don't like you.
Yeah, it's you specifically. There's something about the way you hyperlink things.
We don't.
Where there's something about it, like the blue with the underline. It's just like, oh, this guy.
It makes my skin crawl.
I hate the way he hyperlinks stuff. Thomas,
also, don't subject line all of your submissions. Banger article.
This is a banger article, fidget spinner, fire lit.
That.
Emoji. Thomas Chodakowski, for real though, what is an Arduino? I don't fucking know, man.
It's really simple. It's a tiny little microcomputer you can program. It's very simple.
That's just a computer.
Yeah, no, but these are inexpensive, just easily programmable.
Like a Raspberry Pi.
Yes, now you're getting it. Yes.
So an Arduino. So Raspberry Pi is Arduino?
No, they're two different. They're
I don't
similar.
Understand.
Don't pick that up because that is not an Arduino.
That's okay, but
that's literally
it's a little computer.
No, it's not. That's actually a can of LaCroix. Is what that is.
I call LaCroix a little computer because it's what I drink when I'm at my computer. That's my name for it. What's the studio setup? You face each other side by side, back to back, pilot to bombardier.
Pilot to bombardier. We're like the log ride of podcasts.
I'm actually Jeff's dad, and I am in 1957, and I'm sending over a shortwave radio. To him.
Uh-huh.
I love the idea. That's a hot movie reference.
I love the idea of you like sitting with legs astride me, log ride style.
Yeah, like a bobsled.
Like a flume.
Like the Matterhorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Like the Matterhorn.
The Matterhorn of podcasts.
That's what that's actually our official tagline. We're the Matterhorn of podcasts.
And it goes fast sometimes. Other
and it
times
has a fake Yeti from 1967.
And most of the time it'll hurt your neck.
That fake Yeti is Jeff Canada. I know you've lost episodes in the no. We've already
I get it because 1957. That was an age thing.
You're an old man. We just sit across from each other when we record. When we record video, which we do occasionally, we haven't done it in a while because we're trying to get back up to that video production level on the Patreon.
Yeah.
But when we do that, we kind of sit side by side, but angled a little bit towards each other, so it doesn't look super weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just sit in the studio facing one another.
But I definitely think we should try the Matterhorn style.
With unblinking eye contact.
What if we tried the Matterhorn?
Just staring. Just for an hour at a time. Just staring.
Yeah.
And we don't record for the first hour.
No, that's just our ritual.
We just stare.
Just to maintain eye contact.
And we play the mirror game where we try to move our hands in unison. And that's how we do all these sweet fire jokes.
What if we tried the Matterhorn method and it just made the show brilliant?
What if it was the best podcast of all time, but only if we were spooning?
Yeah, and nobody had ever tried that before. They didn't realize how good it could make the show. Give that a shot.
I mean, I'm willing, and I think the internet would love it.
We would.
I think that
would get us that video goal real quick.
What's the World Crime League? Anybody who's tried to send us mail is like, what is the World Crime League? The World Crime League is just my company name.
Yeah.
And I like calling my company World Crime League because it makes people really nervous. Like
you got that from
Buckaroo Banzai.
Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, it's a Buckaroo Banzai reference, but nobody gets that. And so I remember when I went to start my bank account for the company. So Jeff and I have Concerns the company, but we don't have a PO box for that because we don't need one. We just use mine.
Right.
But when I went to start World Crime League, the bank held up my account and they gave me calls in their security department.
What did you expect?
What kind of criminal names their actual bank account World Crime League?
A brilliant one because he's a double reverse psychology.
That's the thing. They think I'm Looney Tunesing them. But no, if you send something to World Crime League, you're just sending it to my PO box.
But we do have also an accountant for our taxes for We Have Concerns, and he thinks World Crime League is the most brilliant thing. Every time I talk to him, brings it up. He invites his staff into the room, his secretary, his and
it's not even Jeff's
co-workers.
company. Jeff will go in for his company.
Anthony.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the guy who knows the guy who does the World Crime League. Everybody come in here. Look.
I'm a legend in the CPA community.
He thinks it's the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, so that's all that is. My fiance, oh my gosh, Andrew Tomlinson.
A Tomlinson 89 on the everything.
On the everything. My fiance and Alyssa Wallace need a hashtag for our wedding. I think he means Alyssa Wallace is his fiance, which means two superstar members of the We Have Concerns community.
Wow. Our wedding one another?
Our wedding. We've listened to all the episodes and we know how great you both are at coming up with hashtags. What should our wedding hashtag be? Now, here's the thing. I'm bad at hashtags and nicknames, and that's the joke.
Yeah.
When you
it's
tell
gonna
me
be a bad wedding hashtag.
When you tell me it's for your wedding, it's like when I told Jeff he could make any dad joke that he wanted.
Yeah.
I feel the pressure of coming up with your wedding hashtag because you're going to remember it forever.
Yeah.
It's Bear Fighter. It's hashtag Bear Fighter.
Bear Fighter.
Yeah. I think that's dope. I think it lets people know that you're a strong team.
BEAR, because it could lead to some really awkward discussions with your family.
Oh, let's leave that up to you. Whichever version of bear you want. But yeah, Bear Fighter I think is good. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Bear Fighter.
Bear Fighter's good because it's this is a strong union.
Yes, it is a strong union.
They fight bears. Mm-hmm. Maybe you'll fight a bear at this wedding.
Maybe, who knows?
You won't.
Who knows what you'll
have fish or chicken. That's what you'll do.
So do bears.
Yeah,
sometimes
bears do
they
that.
have fish or chicken.
And sometimes bears do the electric slide.
Yeah. If it's going real well.
If it's going real well.
Mhm.
So there it is.
Congratulations, Mazel Tov.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Hashtag Bear Fighter.
Hashtag Bear Fighter.
So if anybody out there wants to get in on some of that sweet wedding discussion, just hashtag Bear Fighter, and even if you're not invited to the wedding, you can be involved in the convo.
That's so nice. Thank you for making us a part of your wedding, a terrible part of your wedding that that we fucked up. So we started threads asking people for questions and comments and their favorite moments, and then Eric Fredrickson on the Facebook group started his own thread that asked people how We Have Concerns has changed them, whether it's their day-to-day behavior, their philosophical outlook, eating habits, fears. He just wanted to know. And so many people left comments, mostly about washing their thumbs.
Hey, change the world, that. You weren't there for our last hangout because you had schedule conflict, but that was a major point of discussion. Everybody's like, oh, I didn't before, and now I do. We're moving the needle on that. Moving the needle.
I love it. I love it so much. Christine Fitzner LeBlanc says that they declare a lot of things to be they's aliens.
Mm-hmm. Well done.
Luke Homer, this is a great one. Luke Homer says, I don't take what people say on podcasts as 100% scientific fact anymore.
we have ruined the
We've
truth
ruined
for
it.
people.
I would like to think that maybe we've done it through our tireless reporting on how so much science reporting is bad and sensationalized.
Or if these two idiots can get so much stuff wrong, what else am I listening to?
Yeah, we could get everything wrong. Yeah. But also that he ends a lot of plural words with a Z now.
I think that's a real positive step for everybody.
Brandon Hawk says, I have an overwhelming need to wear robes, sustain my physical form through the consumption of pecan pie, and become a master of all things metaphysical.
That's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut from that cult episode.
Yeah.
Stella Shimpy says, I wonder what pranks birds are about to pull on me at all times, as you should.
You should be constantly aware and vigilant.
Birds are weird, and I don't trust them.
Yeah. If you get a letter from a bird, do not follow its instructions.
Karen Egan Duffy says, I listen to the show way too much. I love it. I even listen with my 9-year-old for the more appropriate ones.
Are there appropriate ones for a 9-year-old?
I've been trying to cut back on my F-bombs. I don't know
How's
if
that
I've been
going for you.
You tell me. You're the one listening to me all the time.
Yeah.
Not great.
Not great, but
5 out of 10.
Appreciate that. Okay.
Am I 5 out of 10?
I think you're doing fucking great, Anthony.
You just ruined this for her poor little 9-year-old. I listen with her, so I have someone to make all the jokes with. I love this podcast. Thank you so much. And Karen Kockenberg says, I wish I had more friends who played along when I spontaneously start improving.
There you go.
There you go.
Try to get those friends.
Thank you to everybody who shared their favorite episodes or sent in questions. I cannot believe how many people have been listening to this for 500 episodes now.
That's amazing. And I can't believe we've been doing it for 500 episodes. Here's to 500 more.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that people were asking a lot was, did you think this thing would be as big as it is? And I don't know that we're super huge by any means.
We didn't have any plan.
Yeah. This was the thing that we were doing while we figured out what we wanted to do to work together.
That's right.
And it's amazing that so many people love it and become such active parts of the community and of the Facebook group and of the subreddit and joining us on Hangouts every month.
It's awesome. I have to say, I do a lot of shows, and I think this is the one I'm most proud of. It feels closest to the kinds of things that I love in the world, and I'm so glad to be doing this with you, Anthony.
Yeah, you too, man. This has been like a crazy, amazing thing.
Yeah, it's a fun thing. It's a great way to laugh. I know I'm going to laugh at least one day a week, every week, and it's awesome.
And I just want to give a special thanks and a shout out. Number one, to Rob Para, our stalwart editor and collaborator.
He's awesome. Thanks, Rob.
He's absolutely amazing. And like I said, he's been with us since just about the beginning. And he is absolutely wonderful. I also want to give shout outs to RJ Baxter, who started our subreddit for us and also started the We Have Concerns Facebook group and now is an admin and moderator of those.
Yes, thank you so much.
And to our other moderators on the Facebook group, Noelle and Kayla, and of course, my wife, Jessica, who helps moderate. And of course, to Aaron, too, for helping us out with the month-to-month business stuff.
Yeah.
And once again, to all of you guys for listening, if you enjoy the show and you want more of the show and more show related things, You didn't do the bit.
What bit?
Head to patreon.com.
What are you talking about? I want so many more of the things. Anthony, I'm so glad you asked me because I've been wondering, what can I do to make sure the show continues, make sure that I can continue having a great time?
One time I was actually asking you. Well, Jeff, you can head to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. We do not advertise this show. We do not have advertisers on this show.
We won't look at
I've
advertising.
never seen an advertisement in my life.
We shun our eyes away from billboards. And
we've been trapped in this room for 5 centuries, and we ask you, what is advertising? We need you to help us continue this show for another 500 episodes. And if you want to do so, as well as get bonus episodes, extra bits, monthly hangouts, and some other great stuff, head to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns.